Welcome to Epic Begins with One Step Forward. I'm your host, Zander Sprague, and I am so delighted that you're joining me today. I wanted to start off with our thought of the day. Flow state. Flow state is that place that you get where you're doing something that you just love so much and time seems to melt away and it seems so easy. And flow state is so wonderful. I know that in getting to do this TV show, I'm in my flow state. The time really does just seem to melt away and I'm having such a great time. The same thing when I do my podcast or when I'm giving speeches. I love being able to talk and speak. For you, think about activities that you've done where you have been just in that flow, where it just time seems to melt away and you're just so productive. That's so important because that's an area of strength. And working in our areas of strength are so important because it just comes naturally. So I want you to think about your flow states. Next time you do something and time seems to go away, think about that and go, there's a flow state for me. I wanted to give you an epic update on Michael Morgan. Michael was on my podcast and we talked about the importance of networking. Networking seems like it's hard, but it really isn't. Here's some easy places that you could start to network. Think about people you went to school with, high school, middle school, college. These are people who know you. You should call them up and say, hey, what are you doing? And here's what I'm doing. You never know who knows someone that you want to be connected to. Another place is places that you worked before. Again, people who know you. It's so much easier to ask people who already know you for help. And ultimately, we all need to connect with other people and we can kind of use networking to get there. I am so honored today to be joined by Zakias Boquest. Zakias, tell us who you are and what you do.
So, my name is Zakias Boquet. Almost. My last name gets messed up a lot, so that's part of who I am.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Part of who I am is a filmmaker. I'm a YouTuber, and I've been doing this for about 5 years now. I used to be a student athlete, so I actually grew up in Sac, went to high school in Sac, Fresno for a bit, was born in Monterey, and then I also went to Contra Costa, which is funny that we're out here.
Yeah.
So I went there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, but then COVID. And then COVID is actually what got me into filmmaking. It's something I've always had an interest in before, but so that's what I do.
Definitely. So you said you were a student athlete. What sport were you playing?
Basketball.
Cool.
Yeah, I know I got the Dr. J Pro going on right now. So yeah, I was playing basketball for my whole life.
Cool.
Still play, but I was doing it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I take it that you really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. Other than film, basketball is the one thing that I feel like I'm probably never going to let go of.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think that's really important. Now, filmmaking, let's dive into that.
Let's do it.
What is it about filmmaking that really floats your boat that you like?
For me, filmmaking is special because it allows people to tell a story.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes you're telling a story not for yourself, but for others, for people who don't have a voice. And that's what I love doing through filmmaking. And then another point that is really special to me when it comes to being able to create is laughter. So I specialize in doing a lot of comedy stuff. So my biggest thing is if I can make someone laugh or someone smile every day or when they watch my stuff, that's a win for me.
Couldn't agree more. I love to make people laugh. I'm always trying to come up with ways. And once I get a laugh, then I'm like, ooh, I want more of that. You know, I want to, oh, I made you laugh. What else can I make you laugh at? So, what are some of the things that you've created, around comedy, making people laugh? And, is it on Instagram, TikTok, all of the platforms?
Yeah, I've definitely been on every single platform. I think the only platform I don't post on is Twitter.
Yeah, I feel you.
And Snapchat. But other than that, I'm on everything: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook.
Yeah.
Just everything. So, and then also just making films for people to actually like go see in theaters and stuff. So
feature-length films.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we've done one so far, and we're working on a second and third right now. And
wow.
We've done a lot of short films over the course of the time, but I definitely want to focus on getting these full-length features out.
Definitely. So let's talk about the one that's done. I believe there may be a premiere coming in June. So what is that film about? How was the process of making it? What did you learn from that?
Oh man,
I know.
That was a lot there.
I know.
So the premiere for our feature film called Pimping Ain't is coming out June 28th. This year, so get there. But the process of making that film was a learning experience. For me, I'm a very proactive person, so when I think of something, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Like, and there's nothing's gonna stop me other than myself at that point, and I won't stop myself because I know I want to do it. So with that film, it came from just a simple idea that I thought was really funny. I had made a sketch with my fiance, and just a lot of people liked it. And I was like, I could see this being like just a long story, like a movie. And then from that day forward, I knew nothing about making a movie.
Right.
I just knew how to watch a movie. I knew what movies were supposed to be like. Had no idea on how to make one. So I kid you not, I thought we were gonna make the movie like in 3 weeks. I was like, I'll call this person, and like a month we can shoot it. And yeah, that didn't happen. But it wasn't that far off of a month. We shot it maybe after I had the idea, maybe like 2.5, 3 months later. Once again, I knew nothing. So I'm calling everyone I can. I met the right people too. So I met this guy who came and he was a part of my like YouTube stuff. His name was David Cesari. And he introduced me to some really cool people that ended up helping me out and just showing me the ropes and teaching me a lot of things. And one thing led to another, and we were shooting a movie. Yeah,
no, definitely. I mean, I know from creating this TV show and creating YouTube videos, and like honestly, even before that, in the corporate world, I did training.
Right.
Did technical training, and I had to figure out how to go set up trainings for 20 people and all the sort of the stuff that people don't think about. All of the, what equipment do I need? How many people do I need to help me?
Yeah.
What's behind the camera? What's in front of the camera? And people are looking at you because they're like, oh, Zakias, what do you want us to do? And you're like, I don't know. What should we do?
Yeah. For that, that was a wake up call, but it was a good one because for me, I'm the type of person when I'm put under pressure, I excel. Like
sure.
I like to. I'm not going to say have pressure put on me, but it's something I don't shy away from.
Well, I would think that perhaps your basketball career was good training for what's it like to be under pressure and stuff. So,
basketball, sports in general, I feel like make people just a lot more mentally tough.
Yeah.
And, because things aren't going to always go your way. A coach might not favor you, or you might not be getting the playing time that you want, but you have to just figure out a way to stay strong, persevere, and make it happen. So with this film, we did it pretty big for our first film. Like we had a crew of like 15 to 20 people.
Wow.
In total, I think in the film, we had a cast of like, I'm just gonna say with actors and extras of about 180.
Wow.
So for my first time directing anything like that, it definitely was it was a lot. And
that's a big production.
I remember the first mistake I made on set was it was the first day we were shooting, and we were rolling through a scene, And, you know, me growing up, all I knew was action or cut. And I never knew what reset meant. So we were doing a scene and they had set everything up, they had everything rolling, and then someone messed up and I was like, cut. And then my DP looked at me, he was like, no, he was like, we never cut. He was like, because when actors are flowing and when we cut, then we have to reslate, set everything up. And I was like, oh, okay. And I learned that, and I just picked up on that. Like, so I picked up on a lot of things while we were filming.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes sense. Like, we learn by doing, and we can't know what we don't know. Even though you go and go, I know there's a whole lot of stuff that I should know, but I don't. So what is sort of the premise of, I mean, from the title, I sort of get it. I'm guessing that it's hopefully it's a comedy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a comedy. So Pimping Ain't Easy is a story about a woman who was dealing with an abusive situation at home, and she does what a typical person would try to do, and she tries to leave. And for a moment she can't, but she ends up leaving. She ends up getting out of the situation. And while she's working at this job, she encounters this guy who's a pimp. And his first thought, because she's a beautiful woman, is, oh, let me make her, you know, a hoe. She can make me some money, do this and that. And that doesn't really work out. So, but he kind of notices that this girl has something different about her. She's clearly been through some stuff, and that's changed how she perceives the world. So how she's acting is different. And within that, he has this idea to basically turn her into a pimp as well. So she ends up pimping out men. So gigolos, in a sense. So that's like the huge comedic aspect of it. And then on the flip side of the story, there's this guy who's broke. He's going through like this he lost his job, broke up with his girlfriend. He's going through this whole financial struggle, and he's just trying to figure it out. He's sleeping in his car, and he ends up meeting someone who points him in the direction of her. Right. And then he ends up working for her. So the whole story just kind of comes full circle because the pimps and the hoes are tied into a whole bunch of drama that comes with, you know, being in that type of lifestyle. He's just a guy trying to make some money, and he ends up getting intertwined with that situation, and then it just unravels. So
it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun one. There's a little drama in there, but it's mainly a comedy, and it's just a unique story that isn't pinpointed on like someone more so like just persevere. It's not like a what's the
inspirational.
Yeah, it's not like super inspirational. It's more so just a funny take on real life situations. So people struggle, people are homeless, people deal with abusive relationships. And this, in a sense, shows how a woman took back power from her abuser by abusing men. It kind of painted the narrative of like she went down the wrong path, but then for some people, they might be like, was it wrong or was it right? You never know.
Totally.
So we leave that up for the viewer to decide.
Totally. Now, I talk a lot about people being on epic journeys. You know, these things that we dream of doing, and you are doing it. I love movies. I'd like to make a movie. Right. And here you are making movies. Right. And so that's awesome. I want to applaud that because I totally get that. I always dreamed of having a TV show, so I'm like, I'm going to make this happen. Where do you come up with the ideas for your movies?
That's all. It's just up here. It's a lot of real life situations, and just a lot of creativity. I spend a lot of time, like a lot of my friends call me weird for this, but when I drive, I don't listen to music. Like I will occasionally, but like I drive in pure silence, and like I'll either talk to someone who's in the car with me, or I'm just thinking. Because I feel like...
Don't they call that raw dog or something?
Well, I don't know, raw dog, whatever. I've never heard of that.
I mean, I heard that's on an airplane. You got no electronics. You're just staring at the back of the seat for the whole flight.
Yeah, basically, that's what I do.
But it's in the car. There's, you know...
Just no music. Yeah, it's just, I'm just in my thoughts. And I do it, like when I'm in the shower, I think of a lot of stuff. Really, I look at every situation and every opportunity in life as someone relates to that. Someone's going to find that interesting. Someone out there will. And my goal is to just find those ideas that reach the masses versus the minorities.
Absolutely. And I totally get that creativity because I'm always open to some idea of like, ooh, that might be a good idea for a video, a bigger idea like, a podcast, a TV show, a book, whatever. And all too often, people just don't, they leave it at that.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. You may have some idea and think, oh, this is really good. You start to try and develop it, and then you find out, that's not going to work out. And that's hard because you put a lot of effort into it. But, the whole part about being creative is sometimes something in your mind was great, but once you start to put it on paper and try and figure it out, you're like, that might not work quite the way I want it to.
So, yeah, I think everyone deals with that in a sense. But a friend told me one time that, when God gives you an idea, you have like a window to use it before he gives it to someone else.
Sure.
So for me, every idea I come up with, I'm intentional with trying to make it happen. And even if I'm doing it and it's not going the way I saw it in my brain or when I planned it out, I just have to see it through. Like this movie, keep in mind, we did in 2022 when I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
I'm now 25. So I've grown a lot since then, but life happened, things happened within that process of uncontrollables, which is why it didn't come out sooner. But you just have to keep going. Like I feel like not doing it is more painful than doing it, and it's sucking.
Yeah.
I'd rather do something that sucks than not do something and never know.
Absolutely. I say in my book, the only thing you fail 100% at are the things you don't try.
That's it.
And failure is really, look, we learn from it. Oh, that's not the way to do it. I'm sure that in your first film, there were things that failed.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a lot of things just didn't quite go. The shoot didn't go the way you thought. The scene didn't go the way you want. And you're like, okay, now I know that's not how to do that, or I need to do this. As a director, have you found that, obviously, I think you learned a lot about like how much you have to orchestrate to get it all to work, to get everyone to understand what needs to be done. Did you already sort of know that, or was that really something on the fly kind of learning about what a director does and how a director has to really control the whole that whole herd of cats that is?
Yeah. For me, it was more so like I look at directing as leading. So you're leading a project, and something that I've had to do a lot of my life is like lead a lot of situations. So for me, I did have to learn how to direct technically, but I feel like I never had an issue leading people.
Okay.
So, and leading can become overwhelming because every single thing that goes wrong, you're the first person that gets looked at. No matter if it's your fault, no matter if you couldn't control it.
Right.
Nothing. There's nothing you can say that will change the fact that, hey, you're leading this ship, you better make sure we make it to shore. And that comes with a certain level of responsibility that I take seriously. And it's hard at times because sometimes, you might get in a zone where it's like, damn, like, why is this my fault? Or, I couldn't control this. But the goal is to lead people to this certain area, then I think you just have to buckle up and do it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
Definitely. So what are the other projects that you're working on?
Okay, so we just finished a short, but how long it is, it's like, in my opinion, it's like an episode of, it could be a pilot. We're trying to see, once we finish the edit, we'll kind of see what it is, but it's called The Other Side. Shot that with my guy Tony and Naveed and a lot of my good close friends. Want to shout out to all of them. They're amazing actors and up-and-coming actors and actresses. That is about a pastor, a youth pastor, because his grandpa was once the pastor, but you guys will figure out why he's the pastor now and when you watch it. But that's about a pastor who has a gambling addiction, and he ends up stealing money from the congregation.
Oh no.
To exactly shiesty, and it's a lot of them out there like this.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of y'all pastors, man. You seen the video, right? They were talking about the pastor. He locked all the people in the church.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anywho, it's about the pastor. He has a gambling addiction. He ends up joining this underground fight club with the money he stole from the congregation because he wants to bet on himself and win more money.
Right.
And he claims just to put it back into the church, but it's really just to feed his addiction.
Sure.
So he ends up dragging a woman from the church who catches him going there to go with him. Mm-hmm. And he convinces her that they're going to, go there and recruit people for the church and, bring people to the Lord. And when she gets there, she ends up experiencing the other side. That's why it's called the other side. So she ends up trying cocaine for the first time, alcohol. She gets drunk. She's high. She's gambling. She's just doing everything that a churchgoer would not do.
Sure.
And then in that sense, once again, the story just kind of takes you on that journey. And the perspective of someone who was once so holy and they now shift. Because I think we see a lot of films where people are bad and they turn good. So I think it's kind of funny to see someone who's really good kind of get swayed into being really bad.
Exactly. And that's also that's very real life. Mm-hmm. That happens all the time.
All the time. People
who are, maybe they're smart. They've gone to school. They have a good job, mm-hmm. and addiction.
That's it.
Takes over their life, or they just make sort of one bad decision after mm-hmm. another, and sometimes not even their own fault. They get themselves into a situation and they got to make this decision. There's nothing they can do, but it just keeps sort of snowballing on them. So.
Snowball effect. Spirals out of control.
Definitely.
That's it.
Definitely. So, what are some of the bigger plans that you have? Those, I'll call them epic dreams.
Man, I have a lot. But I think right now, I'm shifting my perspective of them being dreams to them already being reality. They just haven't happened in my space yet.
Okay.
And it's really all about the people you're around. I only say that to say because this rapper, he's from the Bay, his name's Stunna Man. Mm-hmm. He's a super positive person, great friend. He just speaks a lot of positivity. So when I say stuff like, oh man, I hope I could do this, he's like, you already do it. Yeah. And it's like, all right, I want to do this. He's like, nah, you already got that. So it's like, so I'm thinking more so these aren't dreams. These are things that are already written in my story. I just have to grab them. Yeah. So to answer the question, I want to have my own production company.
Okay.
And I want to produce a lot of in-house films, TV shows, movies. And I want to just give people a lot of opportunities because that's what I'm big on. I'm big on people having a chance.
Definitely.
So for myself, I've been my only chance. I've been the one to kind of make these things happen alongside my fiance. She's amazing. She's been the best support system I could ever ask for. And she's an amazing actress. And so it's like everything kind of just plays in the favor. Like, I got with someone who's amazing at the things I want to do, so she can help out and do her thing. So really the plan, man, to answer the question, there's too many plans. That's why I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, it's just rambling in my head, but the plans are to make films that captivate the world. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
And I want to bring back real comedy. I love the aspect of nothing is off limits. So mm-hmm. That's the goal.
Cool. Now, and I get the whole idea that you're talking about. I actually have on my mirror at home. Mm-hmm. How do I ... I already am. Mm-hmm. So how often we ask ourselves, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. Well, what if you already are? And as you said, it's in my life, I just haven't gotten to that part to be able to do it. It's waiting for me.
Yep, it's there. It's already there.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's so good. And I mean, I love your passion. I love your vision, because we do need that. And we do, I will totally agree. We need some good comedy again.
Oh yeah.
Where perhaps the things I look at like the Farley brothers and stuff, where there's stuff in their movies that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I want to do things in movies that people are like, almost in a sense, why the hell did they do that? But it was so funny. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot of things I could say. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of like what the Wayans brothers did with In Living Color. Right?
Yes, that's something that I think they brought on so many new talented people. You know, Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Lopez. They did a lot. And I actually just not too long ago rewatched all of it. And then also another show, I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of those. So I was diving into what they did to captivate, those people. And I think that the Wayans Bros and people like Jim Carrey or people like Will Ferrell, I think they just push the boundaries of these certain things. And I think that's great.
Definitely.
So.
Well, Zakias, I want to thank you so much for coming in. Truly an epic conversation. I want to wish you all the best luck.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to look forward to watching all that you create. I want to remind everyone that you can go to epicbegins.com if you're ready to begin your epic journey. And I also want to remind you that epic choices lead to the epic life that you want. Hey there, it's Zander from the set of Epic Begins with One Step Forward. I am always looking for epic guests to sit in this seat and be my guest. If you want to come in studio, go to Epic Choice Media and fill out the questionnaire, and maybe you could be on broadcast TV with me.